Governor of Virginia last fall. No one thought he would. He beat a former governor, very well funded. Why? Well, the main reason was parents in Virginia, like parents everywhere, don't actually want teachers indoctrinating their kids with their weird political views because it's creepy as hell and not what school is for. Well, voters in Florida sent the same message. Last night in Florida, Republicans flipped 5 majority left school districts in big counties: Miami-Dade, Sarasota, Duval, Martin, Clay. Miami-Dade alone has more than 300,000 students. It's one of the biggest school districts in the country. How this happened, what does it mean? Ron DeSantis runs Florida. He's the governor. He joins us tonight. Governor, thanks so much for coming on. This seems like a big story. How this happened and what does it mean?
Well, we made a concerted effort on these races, Tucker, for precisely the reasons you said. Parents are seeing what's going on now more than ever, so there was a lot of energy, and that's important to harness, but it's also important to educate other Republican voters who maybe are grandparents now, or maybe they don't have kids in the house anymore. But I think all really understand that we got to get this education stuff right. So we worked hard in 30 different races. We ended up winning 25 of the races that I was involved in. And as you said, some of that were sweeps to where you have school boards that were majority left, now majority right. Part of the problem that we saw with this is you would have red counties, but because the school board races under our Constitution are nonpartisan, the union would back a leftist, fund the leftist, and you'd have a left-wing school board representing a conservative county. So we have fixed that in many of these places to where these school boards are now going to be representative of the values of the people that live there.
Yeah, and people weren't paying attention. I mean, did you have trouble convincing people that this was worth getting involved in?
I think a little bit, but what we did, we had no other races on the Republican side. There was no governor primary, Senate, Attorney General. This was really it. We had a handful of legislative races, but this is what we told voters were important. And I do think that it impacted it. I think our turnout overall would have been less had there not been this effort with the school board. And I think more and more are getting the picture that this is important. But I do think, as successful as it was, this is just step one. We're going to institutionalize this going forward so that we have good candidates running in these school board races as a matter of course. And so this is part of how we're educating voters to make sure that we have people on those school boards who want to educate kids, not indoctrinate kids, and that are going to be reflective of the values of the communities that they serve.
So I want to ask you quickly about your race. We learned the other day, on last Tuesday, that Charlie Crist, who beat the zany weed lady he was running against, is going to be your opponent. And Crist, a former Republican, came out today with a message to your supporters, which I want our viewers to see. Here it is.
Those who support the governor should stay with him and vote for him, and I don't want your vote. If you have that hate in your heart, keep it there. I want the vote of the people of Florida who care about our state.
He doesn't want your vote. You're morally beneath him. I've never seen a politician say that.
This is his 5th decade running for office. He's a chameleon, typical career politician. But you know, Tucker, people support me because I kept the state open and protected their jobs. Charlie Crist wanted it locked down. So that's not hate in their heart. They're just appreciative that they had a governor who was standing up for them. Parents around the state support me because we made sure schools were open and we're working to make sure they get education, not indoctrination. That's not hate in their heart. They're just appreciative that they have a governor that's fighting for them.
It's kind of weird to see Charlie Crist look down his nose at voters. Is there anyone in the state who is more morally suspect than Charlie Crist, who's registered to vote, that you're aware of?
I'll tell you what, I would take, I don't think you can. I think he is not one to be casting stones. And how contemptible it is when he says, he claims that he wants to unify Florida. He says he wants a Florida for all. And then you condemn a majority of the people in the state of Florida? Give me a break. And the thing about what I've done is, you know, we've done issues that people across the spectrum have been able to agree with, and that's really what it's all about. It's not hating the other side. It's trying to have policies that a majority can agree with.
If you don't support me, you're a hater. That doesn't work. I hope it doesn't. Governor, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.